What up, everybody?
What's going on?
Hey, we back, live in action. Welcome to the Opps SportsCast family. If it's your first time in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 members on our YouTube page, but we already eclipsed that on our Facebook page, so make sure you go and check us out there. Hopefully, we'll be simulcasting on Facebook soon. But we got a lot to jump into. But first, let me introduce everybody that's here with me today. Big Z, you're at the top of the screen. Why don't we start off with you this time? Can't hear you. You might be muted.
You're muted, Zeke.
Josh, why didn't you unmute me? You unmute me every week, Josh.
I got messed up because I forgot to put the timer on, and then I clicked on the timer, but Dave already clicked the timer, and it went back and forth.
Oh, anywho, it's your boy Big Z.
Dave.
From East Side.
All right, there we go. We're gonna do it counterclockwise then or something.
This is your boy Dave in the cut.
All right. So we got the whole crew with you today. Hey, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. A lot has been dropping in the NBA this week. We got some trades, we got some waves, we got some players of the week. We got some contract signing. We got a whole lot happening in the association. We got people failing, to not gamble on the sport. So we're gonna talk about that as well. Malik Beasley getting into trouble. Dame Dollar getting waived. We got some NBA news dropping, and we're going to give you our thoughts on that with New York Knicks hiring a head coach. If you haven't heard about it, make sure you stay tuned. We'll talk about it here. We'll give you our thoughts on what we think will happen and transpire over that. And then we got some, a Christian aspect as well, as Saquon Barkley, the Madden cover athlete this year, attributes his success to what? Not to the Eagles, to converting to Christianity. We'll give you our thoughts on that as well. But first, Dave, why don't you give a shout out to our sponsor and we'll jump right in.
All right, let's do it, man. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Opposition Radio. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Opposition Radio is a 24-hour internet radio station that offers Christian hip-hop, EDM, R&B, reggae, Latin, and pop music. Be sure to check out the amazing artists in rotation by going to the opsradio.live from any internet browser. Make sure you support Opposition Radio because there's a lot of good stuff going on there, man. A lot of good music, a lot of top-notch artists, man. Been going on for about the last year. Been popping off over there, all right? So Opposition Radio, motivation to stand firm. Check them out when you get some time.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, fellas, I will start it off with the NBA topic, thankfully, because the way things have been going for my New York Mets, I don't want to talk about the MLB right now. It's been the Mets have been Metting, as like Zeke would love to say, but but we'll save that for another time because it looks like the Yankees are a downturn themselves. But it's just the ebbs and flows of a long season. But it's not looking good in New York. But all right, why don't you throw up the first topic, Josh, and we'll jump right in. We'll get the party started.
No doubt. Bear with us, folks. If it looks like things are acting funny, our end just feels glitchy. So,
all right. Hey, and a happy 4th of July or Independence Day to all those people who served. We appreciate you.
Big salute. Big salute.
We hope you have a blessed time with your family.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Waving goodbye to Dame's dollars. Lillard's out in Milwaukee. Miles Turner is in. Guys, what does this say? Does this say more about the state of Damian Lillard's career or the franchise that summarily dismissed an NBA icon after he tore his Achilles playing for them? All right, so for those who just turned it in for the first time, the way that we do things here is we take a vote from 1 to 5 to show our either agreements agreement or disagreement with the topic. So we're gonna throw it up right now on the screen. 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3. Got a 3. We got a 4, and Zeke is at a not much.
What are we voting on? There's two
Whether you think
questions
it
here.
has
Which
more
one are
to
we
do
voting
with
on?
games. Oh, you know what? We kind of phrased that wrong, didn't we? Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
you
some.
did.
We're glitching on the screen. We're glitching in the. So let me just throw this out there. Do you think? Let's just say like we're voting on. Like, hey, is this on Dame? Is this on Damian Lillard? All right.
Oh,
1, 2, 3. 1, 4, 1. All right, there we go. Uh, Looks like Dave's got some strong opinions on this. Where are you at, Dave?
Listen, I don't know, man. I like Dame, okay, and I'm a little biased because I feel like the players like Dame, the more seasoned guys, they seem to not get when they get hurt or whatever, they kind of seem to get dragged. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, we just put them out the pasture, send them somewhere where we don't have to deal with them. But the unfortunate thing is they pay, his contract's guaranteed, so it's not that easy. You feel me? So I think that there's just poor leadership and the front office, and they really don't know what they're doing. They have a Giannis problem, and I don't know, man. I'm a little biased on this one. I'm trying not to. I really don't want to get. I could go down a path that I'm trying not to go down because I kind of have this affinity for Dame.
You said, did I hear you correctly? You said the Milwaukee Bucks have a Giannis problem?
Yeah, they do.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he's not the problem, but what are they going to do with him? How you going to keep him happy? How you going to keep him from leaving? That's a problem, man. That's a big problem. And it's like, and then you make a move like this. What are you telling Giannis?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're telling Giannis, thank you for bringing us a championship. Your services will soon no longer be required.
exactly. And then who takes the reins after he leaves? No wonder Dame is happy, man. Dame's like, y'all did me a favor, man. And now Giannis is gonna see how they treated Dame. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, the Dame is a baller, man. So what is Dame? He's 35, right?
He's definitely in his 30s, yeah.
I think he's 35, right? So he's done. He's probably gonna miss all of next year, right? When he's 36,
Yeah.
probably not gonna be back till he's 37. I understand that, but you still owe him the money, right? Dame can shoot, man. It's like if he goes somewhere to an offense that can utilize him, man, that literally will stop just playing ISO and decide to like actually, call some plays, run some plays for pure shooters. He might have a shot at it with a lot of teams and stretch his career out a little bit. So, I mean, I feel like the Bucks obviously they don't know what they're doing. They got a Giannis problem because they don't know. What does Giannis have? 1 year? He has to say one more year, right? Does anybody know? I think it's
No, I don't know.
I think it's 1 more year. But what do they have after that? Who do they have? Let's be real about it. Who do they have?
Well, I know one thing they don't have is they don't own their draft picks anymore for the next 5 years. They've given those all away and trying to create a sustainable winner to make Giannis happy. So I really, I mean, it's a good point. They don't have a whole lot, but I don't know how many people out there, especially if you're in the comments, how many people out there actually expected the Dame Dollar to Milwaukee Bucks to go a lot better than it did. Am I the only one that was surprised that it flopped so gloriously? Because with those guys on the court together, there was just no cohesion and no chemistry, and the team seemed to take a step back after they got rid of Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday was fantastic defender, and so Dame Dollar's defense took such a significant step backwards that I don't think they were ever a better team with Lillard on the floor. Am I crazy for saying that? But I mean, I think this is a little bit about Dave's career. I was surprised because I mean, when you see him in Portland, the man was just electric. He was must see TV, and then he goes to Milwaukee, which you think like, all right, like Portland and Milwaukee, same kind of like global appeal. There's not like Milwaukee's that much smaller of a market than Portland, and he just kind of vanished. Like the team vanished, the success vanished, and they were like middling most of the year. They were like fourth, fifth, sometimes third place, sometimes sixth place. They were just middling most of the year, and I don't think anyone really took them seriously ever. And that's saying something when you got someone of the talent of Giannis, and you melt that with Lillard. Now with that torn Achilles, I mean, I gave it a 4. I mean, he's not really. What is he going to be after this? What is he going to be after this? Is he going to be a player that is going to, get players to want to stay, like a Giannis or like someone else that may want to come in and pair with them? So I think Milwaukee is crazy for doing what they do just because you're eating that money, $22 million a year. You're just going to eat. But
by NBA standards, that's not a lot of money, but still, man,
But the thing that is Miles Turner really the answer there? I mean, Miles Turner. I mean, sure, he might be a small upgrade over Brook Lopez, because Brook Lopez is at this point he's 37 years old. Is what I saw, but I mean the guy no showed in the NBA Finals. Miles Turner.
I don't know. I mean, there was a couple of games there where he was in the post and he was playing rough. He was playing big man ball, and so I wouldn't say he was a no-show, but I understand what you're saying. He wasn't the lead definitely for the Indiana Pacers.
Well, you gave it a 4 as well, Josh. What do you think?
Yeah, I gave this a 4, and the reason I gave this a 4 is because this is 100% on Dame. Dame came in, Dame and Giannis didn't mesh like we all expected it to. And to be honest, I was reading up on this a little bit. When Dame got hurt, he said like straight up, like, "Nah, I'm going to rehab back home with my family." Dame has always been like a family man, right? I'm pretty sure he's got like a podcast with his wife, and whenever you see him outside of the sports world, it's always with his family, and that's one thing I think that the world loves Dame for. But when he got injured, the Bucks saw like, yeah, nah, man. He said, "I'm going back home to Portland to rehab with my family," and rightfully so. Like, what's he going to do on the court? Not a whole lot. But I think they realize like this guy's aging. He's showing that right now he's trying to invest more into his family and take care of his family rather than commit to an organization. And with that being said, I think it was the right move by Dame, and I think it was the right move by the Bucks, because if you're really looking at it, the Bucks need to. They're trying to get back to their 2022, 2021 former selves, right? Where they take it all the way. And so I just don't know. I don't think that the organization saw Dame as being their franchise save. And so that was really the move. And to your point, Chris, do we think that Miles Turner is the franchise save? No, but it's one of those pieces that they need to be able to put put someone else in. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks make another move for someone worthwhile to lead the team at that point guard, shooting guard position, right? Who can shoot. But beyond that, that's why I give this a 4. This is completely on Dame. Unfortunately, he's aging. He's getting old. He's focusing a little bit more on family, which I commend him for. And organization is just trying to part ways with a little bit of dead weight.
I don't know, but I mean, Zeke, what do you think, brother? I mean, Miles Turner is like a stretch 5. Is that really the pair with the stretch 4, Giannis? I can't hear you, Zeke. Can
you're
you
muted,
guys
Zeke.
hear?
That
I'm
wasn't me
sorry.
this time,
My
Big Doug.
family is lifing right now. Like they couldn't care less that I'm doing a podcast. So there's a lot going on in the background that I tried to mute everybody out of. So that's why I keep
Oh,
muting myself.
Bro, that's
But
perfect, man. That showed the realness of our podcast, bro.
For sure.
For real,
hey,
because we all got
life goes
families,
on.
man. It'll be all kind of stuff going on, man. We doing our thing. Let's do it.
Yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, like you got a stretch 4 with a stretch 5. I mean, anybody who's been listening to me ramble on about the state of the NBA knows I prefer a Shaq over a Brook Lopez, somebody who's gonna do their work down low and like just be that dominant big man, or at least that presence at the rim that can block the shots and grab the tough boards. And if I gotta throw the ball down low to get a tough bucket, I got somebody on the team that can do that. I don't see that on this team. Um, yeah, and I don't think Dame. I don't think this is on Dame at all. I mean, the man got hurt. He can't help that. Like,
Right.
yeah, injuries happen, but the way I look at it, you're gonna pay him. Might as well keep him and see what he can give you. I mean, you get rid of him to let him go play wherever. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep paying you. It's almost like they wanted to get rid of him, like something was going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Where they were like, you know what, we'll just get rid of him. The man said he wanted to go home and rehab with his family. Okay, I mean, if I'm going through a tough rehab process, I want a supporting cast around me that's gonna keep me encouraged when those that rehab sucks. So there's gonna be times where I need somebody to lean on. Am I going to try to lean on a team that I've barely known for 1 or 2 years, or am I going to lean on my family to get me through those tough times? So I don't blame him for wanting to go and rehab with his family. It's not like he left in the middle of a playoff series and said, you know what, I'm sick of y'all. I'm going to hang out with my family or anything like that. This is all
Right.
right. I'm going to be rehabbing. If I'm gonna do that, let me go home where I can be comfortable. Where I can have that support system and get me through this rough time. And then when I'm ready, I'll come back and play for y'all. He didn't quit on them; they quit on him. So I don't see how we can blame him for that.
so you blame the franchise, Zeke? You don't think the franchise did Dame right?
I don't think they did him right at all. I mean, man, it was hard enough for him to. We all know Dame wanted to stay in Portland. Dame could have left Portland a long time ago. He's that type of loyal dude where it's like, all right, you guys are the team that brought me in here. I'm
Right.
gonna give you my all. He gave his best years to Portland and finally said, you know what, I want to go chase something great. Ended up in Milwaukee, gets hurt, and they're like, yep, bye. So I can't blame him for what went down. He didn't shoot himself in the Achilles or anything like that. The man got hurt. He probably should have stayed
Nah,
out with that DVT.
Hey,
I mean,
yo.
there's another situation where you see somebody with a calf injury probably rush themselves back way too soon because they want to help their team in the playoffs and their Achilles pops. If Dame was
mm.
selfish and said, you know what, I'm sitting out the rest of the playoffs, he probably got blasted for that too. So I don't know, man. I don't get
Yeah, I love
it's
what you
his
said
fault.
there, Zeke. I mean, you brought up a really good point that I actually like a lot. Dame Lillard was known for his loyalty. He was known for his loyalty,
Yeah,
and
because
he
he
stayed
played in
probably
at
way
point.
too long in Portland
Yeah.
to the point where he probably missed his window not just to win a championship, but to call his next shot. Because then he gets shipped out, and now the league ain't loyal to him. So really good point. You know how rare it is for a player to get waived? They brought up a stat that it didn't happen for like, I don't know, was it like 30, 40 years, maybe more? Is the
That's
last
crazy.
time a player has gotten waived in the NBA. And to your point, that happened to a player like Damian Lillard, one of the most loyal players that we have seen, where everybody was saying he needs to get out, and he didn't. He wanted to stay.
Yep.
It's a very good point, bro. But yeah, I could definitely see that. All right, well, let's jump into the next topic here, which is also association focused here. Um, I've seen a lot of videos going online recently about different players, not just Malik Beasley, formerly of the Detroit Pistons, current free agent, which is crazy. You know, that he is now being investigated by the U.S. District Attorney's Office for sports gambling. And so these allegations, if found to be true, obviously could be fairly serious. Could cost him his career, or at least get him suspended for a considerable amount of time. We all know what happened when Pete Rose was found guilty of that. But uh, what do you guys think? The sports world is now embracing all things prop bets. You can't watch an NBA, an NFL, an MLB game without hearing something about DraftKings, without hearing something about all these little apps, without seeing teams now in Las Vegas, once considered taboo for the implications of being around the gambling world. And so, with the sports world embrace of all things prop bets and gambling, has this gone too far? When we talk about Malik Beasley, this is not a personal accountability thing. Do you agree with that statement? On the count of three. One, two, three.
Come on, Josh.
Oh,
Come
All
on,
right.
Josh.
Hey, I can dig it, man.
call it
I
out.
can dig it.
Let's call it out. PZ, what'd you have? 2?
I had a two.
PZ had a 2.
Josh had a
Josh had a
three.
3. I got a 1.
Yeah, I had a
David
one.
Zeke both got one. Okay. All right. Man, I hate this for you, Josh. You're kind of on an island here. I kind of want to jump on that island with you,
Don't
but
do it, PZ. Let him swim.
you know, I love being the antagonizer. I might want to jump on that island with you. Convince me to join you on that island, brother.
Well, here's where I look at this. Okay, do we know what? Right, we're using Beasley as like the kickoff because that's where the discussion started in our chat and stuff. But like, what was he betting on? Do we know? Like, or what is he? What is he being? What is he
Accused
being
of?
investigated for?
Bro, there was videos of him like literally like looking up at the scoreboard and paying attention to like the final score. There's a video of him racing down the court to get the bucket so that way he can make sure that the over wasn't wasn't hit. Allegedly,
Yeah,
Allegedly.
right?
yeah, kick it with that. Yeah.
Allegedly, right? And so like I don't know, man, it's not looking good.
So with that being said, I gave this a 3, right? Because I understand like the sports world has embraced, the sports betting. I understand that just like you said, you can't go a day without or a game without seeing some sort of pull or lure into the sports betting world. Um, Gambling gone too far. This is not a personal accountability thing. No, I think this is all a personal accountability thing, but I also think that's just a stretch because there's no true evidence, right? There's nothing saying that he actually did do this. So, like, I truly am on the fence about this. And so here's where I look at it like this. If you are a paid professional playing any type of sport, you are not a brilliant person to even consider trying to make some extra money in the betting world. And this is why. Because you can be portrayed as the guy who blew it for a team or who purposely missed that three or or had some insider knowledge that you were willing to share. And for me, it's all about personal accountability. Like, you should not be putting yourself in a position as a paid professional, and you're getting paid really by the sports fans world, by a lot of their ticket sales, hard-earned money that these people go to sit in the stands or sit sidelines, sit courtside. And so, to me, I feel like they should look at this as a personal accountability thing. If you are getting investigated because there's just some questionable things happening, then it really is on that person, on that individual. But
All
then
right,
again,
I thought you was gonna take this in a different direction, man. I think you're kind of agreeing with everyone here. All right, Dave, what do you got, brother? I thought Josh was gonna give us some disagreement here. I think he kind of agrees with you, right?
Yeah. So listen, man.
Josh threw up the three on autopilot mode.
that's
Yeah,
what it was.
it was like, so yeah, I'm at a 1. This is 100% a personal accountability thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. So when these guys come in to the league, they go through the rookie symposium, and the rookie symposium consists of everything from veterans talking to them about money, their reputation. Nothing good happens after midnight. You know, the young ladies, the chasing of the women and whatnot. When you come into the league, the minute you take an agent, you become a brand. And all of these guys are brands. They know that, man. And however, the whole thing is like with Roger Goodell with the NFL, protect the shield, right? It's always protect the shield. If a person is doing something that is detrimental to the NFL, it goes against protecting the shield. They got to go suspended, whatever. These guys are not protecting their personal brands. Beasley he's got a personal brand, even though it may be trash because on the level of player that he is, his brand may not be as strong as the next man's brand. Okay, however, it is his brand to protect, and he's not doing that by even putting himself in this position. So, if are we do we know if the feds investigating this?
Well, it's the district attorney's office,
U.S.
Okay,
so
District.
they want to.
district
Yeah.
attorney. So I'm less inclined to believe that this will go anywhere, because it's not the feds. When the feds come at you, they usually will have something on you for at least 2 to 3 years, and they've just been watching you kind of just give them more evidence, against yourself. If this,
Was Otani the feds? Who went after Otani? Was it the feds?
Dave Jones.
huh?
That was Dave Jones
That was
Incorporated.
me. I started.
That's right. He's the one that gave the tip.
So what I did is I wrote Ipe at his fan club, and I was like, "Listen, with that hairdo you got going, bro, I know something going on, man. You need to come clean, man." Listen, man. As much as I don't want to get started on Otani, man.
Nah.
Here's the thing, man. It's like I have nothing against Otani, man.
Oh man, here we go.
I used to not be able to stand Otani, man, but it was just mostly because of the fans and just the the Laker fans lapping him up and stuff. But Otani's a good dude, man. He's just out there balling. I just hate how everything is just extra with him, as far as the media and the fans and stuff like that. But God bless Otani, man. But this thing with Beasley though, man. Like we said this in one of our earlier episodes, I think one of our first 5 episodes we talked about this. And all jokes aside, man, This is a serious, serious issue, and I'm gonna tell you because gambling is no joke, man. And gambling has ruined people's lives. It has wrecked families. Um, it has look what it did to Pete Rose, man. Pete Rose for the whole time he was out of baseball, he lived with the stigma that he was this horrible person because he gambled on baseball, right? There's a lot of gamblers out there. He just happened to gamble on the sport that he played and that he managed. And for me, I think this whole thing is going to get worse before it gets better because when you introduce this kind of stuff into the leagues, how all these leagues are embracing, they're just embracing gambling, man. And I don't know where this came from. It just came out of the blue. It was like, um, they took the gambling aspect away from organized crime, and they made it legit. And the type of clientele that betters that are coming to these betting establishments, they're not like three-piece suit, you know, Brooks Brother guys. They're the guys that were gambling with the boogies on the street. You know what I'm saying? It's a seedy world, man. And so all we did was watch that seedy world come into uh, professional sports, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. If they haven't learned from the other young man that got indicted and is going to prison for the gambling, everybody, they think, oh, it won't happen to me. That's not going to happen to me. Blah blah. It absolutely will happen to you. So this is a 100% a personal accountability thing. You can't blame the leagues. You can't blame MLB. You can't blame the NBA. You can't blame the NFL. You can't blame them because those entities are in place to make money, and they're gonna do what they do. They're gonna do whatever they can to make money off of the employees, which are the employees of those leagues, the employees in the which look like the athletes that play in those leagues, and the fans. They're gonna make their job is to milk us dry, all of us, and that's what they're gonna do.
All
So
right. Well, so
accountability,
okay,
this is on Beasley, 100%.
100% on Beasley. All right. Well,
Allegedly, and I'm going to say this again, allegedly bad. I'm not going to say the man did it.
Allegedly. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do it. I have to do it. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here
Go ahead, bro.
because why not? Listen, in all sports, we expect the league, right? To in the NFL, there's concussion issue. You got to protect the player. Invest in better helmets, right? Invest in better technology. You know what I mean? Is if we expect the NBA, right? In the NBA, they're starting to have an issue with Achilles tears. Invest in better technology for rest and recovery. Understand what causes those kind of injuries and protect the player, right? Same thing in MLB, right? They want, and I don't agree with it, but they are limiting pitchers to 100 pitches. You got to protect the elbows, right? People have their different issues that they struggle with, right? We don't ask people who struggle with maybe alcohol, like if they're an alcohol anonymous. All right, well, I'm sorry, but you're a bartender for a living now. You're gonna have to go and work at this bar, but don't look at the alcohol, don't look at the booze, bro. Don't be a bartender then. But what about these people, right? That struggle. It's not my struggle. I don't struggle with that. But what about the people that do struggle with gambling, right? There's men that love basketball, that love baseball, love their sports, but they maybe have an issue with that, and you're surrounding them. What about the league's responsibility to protect the players that are their employees from being surrounded by things that might tempt them or might lead them into this kind of, uh, you know, sin, if you want to call it that, right? And so, like, you know, they don't have any accountability. You're creating advertisements everywhere they look about sports gambling to the point where they're going to have people approaching them like, "Hey, what do you think you're going to do this week?" That's the same thing happens in the NFL. Hey, do you think you're going to go for 100 yards? You think you're going to go for this, right? Bro, they're being inundated with this. But this is not what we had back in the day. Back in the day, they didn't allow this kind of environment to be around those players. And of course, we had limited cases of people who struggle with this, but not to this degree, right? Because they're being surrounded by it. And so, like, I mean, the leagues don't hold any kind of personal accountability themselves to protect their players. They got them in the middle of Vegas, gambling capital. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like it's like I think they got to get these people help, not just crucify them.
So here's the thing. This is how crazy this is to me. All right. So you watch the NFL week after week run these campaigns about mental health. They want to fool the public into thinking that they care about mental health, right?
Right.
So what they do is they run these mental health campaigns. Oh, we're with you. Stop, stop hate, all of this stuff, right? However, they have sports books on fantasy football, right? At NFL facilities, at NFL stadiums, where you can go bet on fantasy football. And what's happening is, as soon as these athletes who are on the field aren't performing, what do the people who are gambling do? They turn to social media and they start bullying and making threats to these players that have been exposed in the sports books by the NFL. The NFL has allowed these sports books to have fantasy football betting. So are they really protecting these players? Do they really care about their mental health and their well-being? No. It's like they're leading sheep to the slaughter, man. They don't care. All they care is if their coffers get fat. And I'm specifically going at the NFL, man, because NFL fantasy football, we're all in the same fantasy football league. All the three of us, me, Josh, and Peasy, we're the commissioners. We're co-commissioners of our fantasy league. We got 12 brothers from our church. We're all in the fantasy league, and it gets intense. But none of us are jumping on social media threatening, Josh Allen when he doesn't do well, because we're not gambling on it. You know what I'm saying? But the cat who's gambling his entire paycheck away, he got skin in the game. So he's gonna lose it, and he's gonna go on social media and he's gonna go at these guys that aren't putting up these numbers and helping him win. And the NFL's doing nothing. They're leading these players to this slaughter. They're leading them to this activity. They're leading them to a situation where this is going to happen.
Ooh, Dave coming over to the dark side with me. Let's go, baby. No, but I mean, I think you're spitting facts right now, bro. It's like these sports franchises, these leagues, they're prioritizing profits over the health and well-being of their players. I think that summarizes it perfectly. For those who want to crucify Malik Beasley, tell me, do you think the franchise, do you think the league did everything it could to keep these players from going down that road? Did they do everything they could? Because I think they're putting them in these situations that could be compromising, especially if you struggle with that. That may not be our struggle, and we may look at it like, yeah, that's crazy. Just don't gamble. It's just dumb. But that's like saying to somebody who like don't smoke. I don't smoke. Is they're like, why would you pick up a cigarette? It's just dumb. Is they're like, bro, this dude may have a craving, right? We don't understand that because we're not there. But is the league doing everything that it possibly can to keep the players who might struggle with that out of those situations?
No.
And I don't think you can say yes to that. I think the answer is no.
What's going to stop a kid? We talked about this same thing, man. What's going to stop a kid, right, that's making the league minimum, right? Over a whole season, he's making the league minimum. What's going to stop him from being approached by somebody that says, yo, man, you're making $800,000 this season. What if I could put $6, $7, $8 million in your pocket by the end of the year if you let me control you this season and you control some games for us? We'll put $6 to $8 million in your pocket. You're set for life. You might not even be on the roster next year, but you'll have $6 to $8 million in your pocket. By the way, here's $3 million to get you going, just in case and as you go, we'll give you the rest by the end of the season. You'll have it all. Who's going to say no to that? What young cat that doesn't know he's going to be on, if he's going to be on the roster can truly say and stand up and say, I'm not going to do that. Now, of course, people with morals aren't going to do that, but there's these days these kids want Bugattis, they want all of this, they, what I'm saying? They want all of the bags and all of this stuff, man. It's like the purses. These guys, in the NBA, they need their purses and stuff, man. I mean, come on, man. Like, who's gonna say no to that?
Zeke, why don't you give your take? Josh, if you could throw Shalice's comment back up on the screen. Zeke, why don't you go ahead and read that and then jump right into your take?
Even casinos offer help for gambling addicts, but the person has to take the initiative, make the call, sign themselves out of the casino, etc. If not, it ends up the casino bans them, or we get some legal intervention. Um, Check it out. First of all, thank you, Shalice, for participating in the chat. We appreciate you. Um, when I look at this Malik Beasley situation, the more I read on it, the more it sounds like he himself wasn't gambling. He got himself caught up where he owed some people a lot of money
Yep.
and wasn't able to pay it back,
Yep.
and was trying to pay it back by performing certain ways as far as these prop bets go. That's what began the investigation. They noticed a lot of movement for a game back in January of 2024. He the prop bet was Malik Beasley, I think less than 2.5 rebounds,
Yep.
and they noticed some heavy movement right before the game started, and he went out there and got 6 rebounds. Um, it I can't put this on anybody but Malik Beasley. Like when I'm looking specifically at his situation, um, this is a man who's made $60 million over his 9 year career, and yet he's having trouble paying his rent. He owes his barber $26,000. He owes his dentist 30 something thousand dollars. Um, he owes his landlord over $7,000. My man, what are you doing with your money? Like this is a situation that he got himself in. Um,
You convinced
what happened?
you
Facts.
convinced Elise.
Oh,
You owe your
FIF.
barber more than you owe your landlord, bro.
Right.
Bro,
yeah.
right.
See,
Barbado?
that's what I'm saying. Like this sounds like a situation where Malik Beasley made a lot of bad choices that caused him to make himself available to people saying, "Hey, you want to erase this debt? All right, you see this prop bet? Make it happen. I'm putting a lot of money on you getting more than 2.5 rebounds. Go make sure it happens."
My man was
Mm.
I
probably
don't I
out
don't
there
think this
throwing
was Malik
elbows.
Beasley gambling. This was Malik Beasley trying to make a lot of people some money. Whether all right, they could have said, you know what? They think you're gonna get 8 rebounds tonight. Um, I don't think you're gonna get 8 rebounds tonight. As a matter of fact, I'm putting a lot of money on the under. Make sure it doesn't happen. All of a sudden, you see Malik Beasley. All right, well, I'm at 6 right now. Maybe I'll just let the next two slide. Let somebody else get them. This is definitely a personal accountability issue in my eyes because the man, $60 million over 9 years. That's a lot of money. He shouldn't be in the financial trouble that he's in. So what is he doing with his money? What is he spending his money on that he can't? I mean, all right,
Haircut.
9 year career, $60 million. I ain't do the math, but all right, you're not that top level superstar. Maybe you don't want to live in the high end rent district. Maybe you get yourself something nice in a decent area where you can be comfortable, but it's not costing you that much money where you fall behind with your landlord. Um, all right, I don't understand how you owe a barber and a dentist that much money. Like, what do you? The
I can
NBA don't
understand
have
a dentist more
dental
than a barber,
insurance.
bro.
$26,000 on your barber, dude.
That's
No, that's why I said I can understand the dentist more than a barber. I don't understand the barber part. Like, how much are they charging?
haircuts every week.
You
That's
getting a haircut
ridiculous to
every
me,
day,
man.
bro?
So
Like every day?
Some of them do though, for real. I'm no lie. They have personal barbers. They get their hair lined up and trimmed every day.
That's
yeah,
wild.
it's ridiculous, and that just screams. I hate to say it because it's gonna sound like old man speak, but it just screams young, rich, and dumb. Um,
Yep.
It screams
he
prison
didn't
in
have
this
anybody in his
situation.
corner trying to tell him the right things to do with his money, or he did, and he just ignored it because I'm rich, I'm young. You ain't gonna tell me what to do with mine. Now all of a sudden you out of the league. He was lined up to make. I saw that he was lined up for two or three different contracts over $40 million. He was about to get paid this year.
Hmm.
He was about to get paid, and this comes out, and now he'll be lucky if he plays again. So we'll see what happens. But this is totally on him. I'm not gonna put this on. Look, I had a conversation with somebody the other day about the money that Shea just signed for that big contract. Um, she said the extra sauce on the hairline.
Extra sauce.
Stay off of social media,
Bro.
Shalice.
Right. That's the stuff
Turn the
that
videos
LeBron
off.
needs. Malik
Um,
Beasley, put LeBron on game, bro.
right, but like you see Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he just signed for that $285 million contract over 4 years, $70 million a year to play basketball. That's a lot. And I was talking to my coworker, and I'm like, I can't be mad at him for getting all this money when I look at the grand scheme of things and look at how much money he just made for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like if
Hmm.
they can pay it, they're making more money. And my coworker was like, "Well, you should absolutely be mad at how much the owners are making." And I'm like, "Why? Like they're in this to make money. So
Mm.
sports leagues, they're gonna do what they gotta do to make money. If they looked at the whole gambling situation and said, you know what, we can find a way to make this profitable for us, let's throw a couple advertisements on a jersey or whatever, or throw a couple, let them run a couple commercials during our games while enforcing this no gambling rule with our players. Yeah, they're gonna do that. And if you decide, well, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can be a little shady and make a little bit more on the side, that's a risk you're taking. And if you get caught, that's on you 100%.
Can I ask a question though? Why? So then, why do we like with our last topic of Dame getting waived to free up 130 million dollars? Why isn't that then praised by these organizations? Because they're trying to save cap space.
They
Put in
still gotta pay
part-
the man though. That's just dead. They just wasted that money.
No, it's from what I understand.
Well, by waiving them, it allowed them to
They,
sign
they
Turner
the
though.
stretch
Right.
rule or whatever. They still got to pay him though. They still
Yeah,
they
they got to
still
Yeah,
pay
they
owe
him,
him
still
but
one
got
they're
hundred
paid.
able
thirty
to
They
two
still
million
move
got paid.
his
dollars.
contract. Is what I'm saying.
But they can sign Turner as a result though.
Right.
I mean, the way I look at it, if you're gonna, I'd rather pay somebody to be on my roster than to pay them to go elsewhere. I'm gonna be paying this man to go play somewhere else. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take him for to recover from this injury, probably a year or so. But say he goes and wins a championship, I don't know, God forbid, with the Knicks. They just paid my man to win a championship with the Knicks on their dime because the Knicks they might have to pay him. They might get him at well, not league minimum, but some kind of discounted price for a veteran who's coming off of an Achilles injury. He goes out there and proves that he's still the sharpshooter that he is. He might not be able to move like he used to, but he can still shoot. He could be a key contributor on somebody's
Right.
championship team, and the Bucks just paid him to go do that instead of doing that on their franchise. So yeah, that's totally different in my eyes.
I don't know.
You know what? Every sports franchise does that all the time with coaches, and it never makes sense. But
It
now
never
I get
makes
what you mean.
sense.
It never makes sense. They paying these coaches to go coach somewhere else. It's crazy. Hey, let's jump in. That was a good topic, fellas. Let's jump into our last topic here before our weekly roundup, which is yeah, another Eagles topic, fellas. But this one is interesting to me. Saquon converts.
See,
Saquon attributed his career best season to converting to Christianity. This is like one of them AI moments. It's like not to the Eagles, not to the Eagles, right? But to Christianity, right? They're like not from leaving the Giants, not from leaving the Giants, but you know that's where we're at, man. He converted He converted to Christianity this season. And yeah, then he was able to not just walk on water, but jump over backwards on defenders. What he meant to say was leaving the Giants and joining the Eagles were the reason. Do you agree with that? Count of three. One, two, three. I hate this. I hate this. I'm mid right now. I'm mid. Zeke's at a 10. What he meant to say was leaving the Giants and joining the Eagles. Son, Zeke's at a 10. He's 10 toes down. Of course, we got my man Josh at a 1. Dave is at a 1 as well. Okay. Okay. Um, should we let Josh round this up or start us off?
I'm going last. I'm
All
going
right.
last.
Cool. We can start with me. Josh is at a 1 because he's Minister Josh at Hope Christian Fellowship Eastside. Dave is at a 1 because he's part owner of Opposition Radio, so he's got to represent the cross. Dig it. It's a cool story, but come on, man. Like, that's like, look, I
Opposition radio gotta
appreciate
catch
him
train.
putting it out there and trying to get a dub for the kingdom, but dude. No, your success had everything to do with you leaving the Giants and getting out of that train wreck. Now, if you want to say that there was some divine intervention that made all the things fall into place, all right, cool. If you want to go on that angle, but to sit there and say it had everything to do with you converting to Christianity, like, will we be here supporting that if he said, "Oh, I became a Muslim and that's why I had my best season," or "I became a Buddhist,"
Said
or
no one.
said, I'm pretty sure people have said it, but we don't put it out there because this isn't a Muslim Christian station or a Muslim radio station. It's a Christian radio station that we're broadcasting on. So yeah, man, come on, Saquon. All right, cool. You became a Christian. Welcome to the kingdom, brother. I'm gonna pray for you and continued success. You're gonna need Christ to help you with that Madden curse because we all know how that goes. But come on, man, dude, you got out of a train wreck and landed in Philly. That's why you had your career best season. Come on.
uh, I'm mid, so I'll go
Is he
for
the only Christian in the league?
No.
How come everybody else didn't win the Super Bowl? How come everybody else didn't have their career year? How come Tim Tebow not still playing in the league slinging touchdowns? He was the biggest Christian stand out there.
Dang, you sound like the Opps for real.
Zeke is
I'm
going
just
in on
saying,
y'all.
like,
Let's get a counter. Let's get a counter view here because Zeke is bringing up some facts on you. Dave, tell him why, man. Tell him why. All glory to God here. Come on.
So let me break it down to you like this, Zeke. Okay. So you have to have been somewhere to know where you're going. All right. And I mean that sincerely.
That's
Like,
good. It's a nugget.
you know what I'm saying? And so Saquon was in a bad place with the Giants professionally, but it also may have put him in a bad place emotionally and spiritually. And so this man knew where he was and where he ended up. He can look back and say, you know what? I see where I was, and that led to the person that I was becoming, the person that I had become, the hope that I had lost. And if Christianity brought him to a better place and brought him out of those pitfalls, then all glory to God, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like when a man is down and he sees no way out, and Christ comes into his life, who are we to argue with his assessment of he's where he's at because that's where Christ brought him? Absolutely, Saquon ended up in a great situation with the Eagles, and he's behind a killer offensive line where he can perform and do his thing. But those things are being done when he punches the clock. What's going on when he leaves the facility and goes home? Where's his mind there? Who's this? In those situations, who's to say that even though he's in a good situation, he doesn't think about his previous situation and why the situation went the way that it went. What led to that? What role did he play in it? He could be beating himself up on a daily basis, or could have been. If he's doing that now, he's crazy because God bought him out of a horrible situation and put him in a blessed one, man. And he's done nothing but thrive. So when I say you have to have been somewhere to know where you're going, Saquon was in probably professionally. He probably is in the worst situation that any athlete can be in his prime when he's trying to not only perform but get paid while doing it. So for me, my response is solely not about. It's solely about his faith walk and about what Christ has done for him by putting him in this situation, and it's not at all about the professional piece, the football piece of it. Um, because he was in a bad situation professionally, and I'm pretty sure that played on him. And then the way that they try to play him for the world to see by telling him if you think you can get something better, go ahead. By the way, we're gonna help you do that. Beat it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it, man. I just feel like when people hear a man say, um, "I'm the man that I am today, and I was able to do what I did because of the glory of God, and because God came in and He caused these things to happen." I'm not gonna be that guy that says, "Nah, man, it had to be something else." Because if that's what got if that's what changed that man's mindset, then God's doing what we all think and know that He can do.
Hey man, all glory to God, man.
Brody.
Listen, I was mid at a three because I could see it both ways, but like since Zeke had to bring up my man Tebow, I love me some Tebow. If my dad is watching, he knows how much I annoyed him about Tebow. Who has more career playoff wins, Justin Herbert or Tim Tebow?
Timmy. Timmy knees.
That boy Timmy T, baby. That boy Timmy T got some, bro, a
Hey,
playoff
hey, hey!
comeback win
Who has
that
more
that
playoff wins?
dot that
Who
he
has more
threw
playoff
for the
wins?
game winning tutty.
Say it.
For the game winning tutty. Sitting down on the knees, praying. Man, I tell you
Dave, you
what,
getting
man.
personal now. You making this personal now, Dave. I don't
I'm
appreciate
sorry,
that.
man. I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're not. You're not sorry. You're not sorry because all you're doing is feeding into Josh, and you're making this personal. So next time I see you, I might have
Oh
to bear
man.
hug you, man.
Oh man.
Oh man, I'm
You got
sorry.
to get your takes right on this podcast, or else you might get hurt off of it. Apparently. But now I'll tell you what, man. Like, I was kind of mid because I could see it both ways. Like, I do think that being right spiritually can free you up to be the best version of yourself in whatever aspect you do. I see it in my own life. When I feel like I'm right spiritually, I feel like I can flow better in my daily work. And I think that's the same thing for Saquon, is that he just felt free to be him, and he trusted in God for the results, and he wasn't worried about maybe injuring himself because he was just maybe trusting God because he dealt with a lot of injuries in the Giants. It wasn't all just miserable season after miserable season behind an offensive line. A lot of it was a hampered miserable season behind a bad offensive line. But the reason that we thought that Saquon Barkley to the Eagles was going to be an impact is because he's still, even behind that bad offensive line, that man was brilliant. I mean, he was amazing. And so we all saw the talent. It didn't always translate. And so I think a lot of it had to do with probably the Eagles. But I think the reason I gave it a three really is because I don't think you can overlook the fact that the contract and the games that the New York Giants were playing with him had to mess with him on the field. How comfortable do you feel doing spins, jumping in the air over a defender backwards? If you ain't got that bag to know that when you land, someone ain't gonna just ruin your career, right? And so, like, I think that had a lot to do with it to the point where he felt free. Like, as soon as the first game, it was like, man, he's got a different bounce in his step. It's not just that he's finding bigger holes, he's got a different bounce and he's back to being that dynamic back. Because you make business decisions when you ain't got your bat. And so, like, I do think that, perhaps also trusting God that his financial situation would be taken care of has something to do with that as well. And so that's why, like, I'm a little flip floppy on this, but because I could definitely see it both ways. But all glory to God if he thinks that. Props to God, right? I mean, at the end of the day, more people need to convert if they want to have that success, right? I mean, that's the mantra.
Can I say something before Josh jumps in?
Please do.
I just read something that I find very interesting.
Go ahead.
Back in 2019, when he won Breakthrough Player of the Year, first thing he did in his acceptance speech was give all glory to God and thank him for allowing him to be the player that he is. I don't think this was a conversion. This might be a. It sounds like Saquon's been Christian the whole time. So again, you want to give glory to God for getting you out of New York? Cool. But if I'm on the Eagles' offensive line, I'm feeling some kind of way.
Listen, man.
Just
There's a
saying.
lot of people that go up on the stage at the BET Awards and they give all glory to God.
Okay, I'm not talking
Throw
about the
their hands up
rappers
in
who
the
that's
air.
talking about
Ooh!
who they
And
did it with.
then
I'm not
15
talking
minutes later,
about them.
they
Don't
twerking
bring
for
up
the
the
entire
BET
world.
awards.
So I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
that's
Well,
that's
here.
that's a part of the
So
that's
so you're saying
Hey.
Saquon was lying about being a
Hey.
Christian?
nah. What I'm
Hey.
saying is he might have been confused in his walk
Let
back then.
let me just take it. Let me just take
Go
it.
ahead, take
I'm
it.
gonna take the torch here for a second. All
Keep the
right.
button on deck, Dave.
Here. Let me give you some straight facts. Mid to end of the 2023 season, Saquon Barkley has Ed Berry join him on his negotiating team as an agent. Ed Berry is the senior pastor of a church. And not only is he a senior pastor of a church, but he has his own business, which put him in place to become Saquon's agent. Since 2023 and signing Ed Berry has said in multiple statements that him and Saquon have built a relationship and that they are growing in a common bond, a common faith, right? So that shows me that your statement of Saquon Barkley and saying, "Oh, I got to give all glory to God." Yeah, that's the norm thing that people do. You see Lil Uzi Vert going up for a trophy and
Again
praising
with the
God, thanking God.
rappers.
It's it's a common
It's
thing.
all of them, man. And they don't just say,
Okay,
I
Everyone.
want
it's
to
a
give glory
common
to
Full
thing,
God,
but
bro.
Yeah,
platform.
actors too,
Saquon has
bro.
always
Full
been known
platform.
as a
It's
stand-up
not just I
dude.
want to give glory to God
So
either.
with that being said,
Okay,
that was just the thing to do.
okay,
In this instance,
okay.
like the other guys were saying, I truly believe there was a freeing aspect to his game. If you go back to the media coverage for when Barkley literally spun off two guys, two defenders, and then jumped backwards over the other. If you go back and look at the media coverage, Barkley was like, bro, that was not even in my mind. I was thinking of just doing another spin. He said my body took over, right? And I'm not trying to over spiritualize that.
Angels in the outfield, Josh.
Angels in
Or a
the
demon
I'm not trying
possession.
to I'm not trying to over spiritualize the move. I'm just saying Barkley came to a point in his career where he was free. He felt free to just play the sport that he loved to play. And in my mind, if he attributes his refound abilities or if he attributes his play on the field to this coming and understanding of who God is, I'm 100% going to stand behind that because I believe that God is a God who is going to take you from this level and bring you to this level. for his honor, for his glory, and for his reason, for his purpose. And so if Saquon Barkley is saying all this, there has to be something behind it. There has to be some sort of meat behind it. And if there's anything that I know is over the years, the Eagles organization has had a history of strong believers, right? You have Carson Wentz, you have Zach Ertz, you have Doug Peterson, you have
Brian Dawkins, Reggie
Brian
White.
Randall Cunningham. There are some major players coming out of this Eagles organization that have claimed the faith base. And to me, that's just telling me that there's something going on within the umbrella of the Philadelphia Eagles that
Next.
that there's some sort of movement in the building.
Josh, all of those players we just talked about played on other organizations. It's not
Listen,
just exclusive to the
100%. But
Eagles, man. Come on.
I'm not saying it's just the Eagles. I'm just saying if you look at the historical outcome of a lot of these players coming out of this Eagles organization, a lot of them have been fed spiritually. And all I'm saying is, like, maybe there's something in the Eagles, or maybe there's this guy in the locker room that just, maybe it's the cleaner that's been on staff for the past
Oh
40
my
years.
goodness!
And he's
See,
feeding these nuggets
weekly
of
roundup.
wisdom and God.
Now you took it too far, Josh. Josh
Weekly
believes
roundup.
in replacement theory. The Philadelphia Eagles have replaced the Jews.
That's right. Either way, I will never knock any player, right, who genuinely shows that there has been they've come to some sort of level of understanding of who God is. I will never knock that, and I will always glorify that, because at the end of the day, all glory to God.
All right. Tell us what you think in the comments. Let's keep it moving because we got some things to talk about in the weekly roundup. Some things happening
Yes, but we got to talk.
right away.
It happened today.
Oh, it happened today. Yeah, let's jump right into it. Zeke, why don't you read this off for us?
I don't want to read this.
Yes.
Oh, okay. 1903 National League MLB.
1903 National League MLB batting champion Ed Delahanty disappears after being removed intoxicated from a train by force. Found dead at the bottom of Niagara Falls 2 weeks later. Who chose that? Like, who? This is why it happened
good.
today. Disappeared for like 5, 6, 7 weeks.
That's good.
Yo, next time run that by somebody first before you type that in
Listen,
there,
me
bro.
and Jones agreed.
You agreed to that, Dave? No, time out though. Dave agrees to everything. Dave is the type of professor where we're like, hey, I think we should do this, and Dave be like, bet, make it happen.
We chose this.
I've never heard Dave say no.
We're Western New Yorkers, man. Anytime we could bring up some sort of news about
Some dude dead at the bottom of Niagara Falls.
Yeah,
That's what you want to be proud of?
it's not about being proud of it. It's just about.
I've never heard of this dude before in my life.
He was an MLB batting champ, man.
Come on, man.
In 1903.
Yes, serious news here. Come on.
I mean,
give it a break.
It's not every day.
I almost made an old joke about Dave, but that's even stretching it too far, man.
Yeah, exactly. Not every day batting champ ends up at the bottom of Niagara Falls.
It doesn't happen every day.
Oh God.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Please do.
Yeah. Yeah. Weekly roundup, fellas. Let's go to the weekly roundup because I've been dying to talk about this. All right. Hopefully it's the first one. Let's see what we got first in the weekly roundup. All right, that's not what I was thinking of. Lakers, DeAndre Ayton reached a deal. Who's got the strongest opinion on this?
Not me. Baseball season.
Dave, you got a strong opinion on this?
Good luck to him. I don't know.
The guy going to the Lakers. I don't even know the dude's name, man. It's
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton. He was the first overall pick a few years ago.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I'm going to tell you something, man. I didn't like DeAndre Ayton when he got drafted because he was one of the first dudes that they found out he was on the tape. This is how, with the NIL and stuff, his school was under investigation for paying him money, if I'm not mistaken. And when they came to talk to him, he acted like they didn't. I'm in the pros now. I don't know what you're talking about. So, but here's the problem with him going to the Lakers, man. So if you guys haven't been reading about him, he's quite the diva in his locker room.
Oh,
So,
In what way?
huh?
In a way, we got to say pause.
I'm not saying that.
Probably.
Y'all,
Oh, okay.
I'm not. Yeah, we deaded the pause thing, man.
All right.
You better
Yep.
not bring up nothing pause worthy because we about to resurrect
I'm
you.
not. But what I'm saying is, he has known to be quite the diva in his locker room. Just drama, man, and I mean, you add his drama on top of LeBron's flopping, and what do you? I mean, come on, man. What are we doing here?
I don't
What
know.
we?
I think the Lakers got a little better, don't you think? I mean, he's the man's the walking double double.
I mean, yeah, I
He's
get.
also a liability on defense, like Luca. But I mean,
Can he shoot?
He's a walking double double till he's not.
nah, he can't. He can't shoot like that. He's not terrible. I mean,
Every
That's
game
all that
I ever
matters in the
watched
got
NBA
this
these
drafted
days,
game,
one
man,
man.
he was
over
pretty
Doncic.
boring, man.
it shouldn't though. It's
It's
just
nothing
terrible.
hype.
All right. Well, I mean, this is the topic I want to talk about. Mike Brown hired by the New York Knicks as head coach.
Say it with your
I
chest.
just need to stare at the screen for a while.
Say it
Mike
with
Brown hired by the New York Knicks as the head coach.
Mike Brown's got a winning record by 100 games, man.
A lot of that had to
Bro,
do with
Mike
LeBron.
Brown,
Quiet, Zeke.
Wasn't he the coach in Cleveland?
Don't be talking about our coach, man.
I'm just. Oh,
Mike Brown,
He was Cavs.
Mike
Dave,
Brown.
not one time did Mike Brown's name come out your mouth when you was talking about the coaching search.
It didn't,
Not
man.
one time did you say, "Let's go get Mike Brown."
Oh, you know what, man?
Mike
I'm
Brown.
gonna keep it real. Chris can't even say anything, man. I'm gonna tell you what it feels like, right? It literally feels like I'm not even playing. It feels like Dolan started at Whole Foods, right? And then he went to Wegmans, and Danny Wegman was like, I don't know what to tell you. And now we ended up at Aldi, and we got the Aldi coach. I mean,
Imagine
that's what it
waking up
feels like.
on Christmas morning and you open up, you unwrap the gift, and you see the PS5 box, and you open it up,
With
and it's a
bricks in it.
sweater,
Or an Atari.
an Atari. Dang, you gotta blow the dust off that sucker.
Or you ask for the I don't know, man. You ask for the GI Joe, the vintage GI Joe with the kung fu grip and all that stuff. But then you open it up, and it's the dial that you could just squeeze the arms, and there's like nothing but air in his arms. It's not even solid plastic.
That
That's what it
sounds like a
feels
personal. That sounds like a personal issue. Did that happen to you, Dave?
Dave's bringing up his
Sound
like. I
like
plead
we
the fifth.
tore the scab off a wound.
I
And the
plead the
whole
fifth.
time, Chris is sitting there, just repeatedly in his head saying, "Mike Brown."
Mike Brown. Just to kind of make the audience understand what it feels like to be a Knicks fan and hear the words Mike Brown. Have any of you guys ever seen what was our movie, Zeke?
I'm gonna get you,
Uh,
sucker.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. I think it was in that movie when Chris Rock he goes into the convenience store and he's
Yep.
just there like, bro, how much for them ribs? And I feel like the cashier as a Knicks fan, by the way. He's like, how much for them ribs? He's like,
Jim
rack
Brown?
of ribs? It's like $10. $10, man. How much for about half? He's like, how? Well, maybe like $5. $5. $5? How much for one rib? One rib? We don't sell just one rib. Come on, man. Well, how much for a soda? A soda is $2, bro. Well, how much if you with no ice? How about you just pour it in my hand? That's what it's like to be a Knicks fan, man. They
And then he
keep
pulled. You
telling you
forgot he pulled
rules.
out the wad of cash at the end of that skit. He had the
Yes,
money the
yes,
whole
he had the
time.
money the whole time. That's what it's like to be a Knicks
Just
fan,
didn't
man.
want to
It's
spend
just
it.
one thing after another. It's just they're like, bro, like, can we ever have good things?
You ready,
Yeah,
Can
Chris?
we ever have good things?
Chris, I
we
want to
can't have
read
anything
this.
nice.
This came off of CBS Sports, right? As awesome. Oh wait. He says right here. as awesome as Brunson is as a one-on-one scorer, I suspect that Brown will try to make the team less Brunson centric. So poor Chris was talking up Brunson the entire postseason, and here comes Mike Brown making Brunson less centric to the team.
Bro, you know what the Knicks need to do? We need to hire the janitor from the Eagles. Apparently, according to
Right.
Josh,
That's right. Amen.
he's got that
Ah,
Christian mojo.
Amen.
He'll bring us back to the
why
top.
are y'all
Oh
calling
boy,
him?
yeah. Serious.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'm not going to transition into that because SGA signs a $285 million
Worth every
contract,
worth
and
every.
he just became the highest paid uh, NBA player ever
That's
on an
that's
annual
According to
basis.
the
annual
next 2
salary,
weeks.
Yep.
That's for the
70
next
million
2
a
weeks.
year, dude.
That
And
won't stand
so that won't stand, you said?
out, bro. Somebody will beat that.
Oh yeah,
Somebody's
somebody's gonna
gonna
beat
beat
it.
that
Yeah.
within
You
the
know what's
next.
crazy is Luca probably should have beat that, but the Dallas Mavericks didn't want to pay him, so they traded him for the first round draft pick. I mean, they traded him for Anthony Davis. I'm sorry, that was a misspeak for
I
those
mean, he
there
was the
out there in
number
the
one overall
audience.
pick many years ago, so technically they did trade him
Oh,
for a
okay. So
first
yeah,
round
so I
pick.
did it. So I did not misspeak. Okay.
Right, right.
All right.
Yeah.
Dave Parker passed away. Dave, why don't you take it away, bro?
All right, man. I think me and Zeke should share on this, man. So Dave Parker, man. I can't even. I can't even put it into words, man. Like, what a great player in person Dave Parker was. Um, played for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and was just you know how we look at Clyde the Glide and how cool uh, Clyde Frazier. Let me put it. Let me
Yeah,
back up.
yeah.
Okay, how cool Clyde Frazier is with for the Knicks, man. Like that's who Dave Parker was for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not only was he a great baseball player, two-time champion, if I'm not mistaken, right? Zeke, two-time champion, um, fashion aficionado. I mean, he was just cool, man. The dude was just cool. Um, and he recently was inducted to the Hall of Fame. Was supposed to go in. Is going in this year, this summer, right? Zeke
This
was
month.
this. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's July already.
Yeah.
Going in this month, man, and we lose him literally weeks before he goes in. He had been battling Parkinson's disease for quite a while, but he did not lose his personality, man, and his spunk. Um, and would still do interviews. Was very excited to still do interviews, and I just think it's a huge blow. I hate the fact that he had to be ill, and it took so long for them to bring him into the Hall of Fame. It breaks my heart.
Mm.
Yeah,
Right.
I watched a documentary on him a few months ago. I think they had it on MLB Network, and um just to watch his story, like the imagine the weight of being a rookie replacing Roberto Clemente
Yep.
in Pittsburgh.
Hmm.
That and he handled it well. I mean, you look at his numbers. Go check out Baseball Reference. I mean, the man was a beast. He could do it all, and it's just unfortunate that he didn't get the chance to be on this side of the dirt and be able to say, I am a Hall of Famer. I got a chance to see my bust in the Baseball Hall of Fame. They waited too long on this one. I don't get the writers. I, I've harped on the voting process for a long time. The writers do a lot of people a big disservice because of personal vendettas. Um,
Right.
and once you fall off the ballot, now you got to wait every few years for the errors committee to try to get you in there. It's just it's a travesty how they do a lot of these people. Um, Shoot, Dale Murphy still isn't in the Hall of Fame. So,
Did the
but
same
yeah,
thing to Pete Rose. They're probably going to do the same thing to Bonds and McGuire and
well,
Sosa. And
that's different though. That's more PED related. I mean, you got a lot of guys that were on the Mitchell report. You got like Big Poppy. Um, he made it to the Hall of Fame. He's on the report, but he's I guess because he's a likable guy, they forgive and forget. I don't know. So, Sosa was a likable guy, but he had not only the steroids but the cork bat and everything. So that's probably hurting him a lot too. But yeah, rest in peace to Dave Parker. Prayers to his family and the Pittsburgh Pirates community. I know they're hurting over this one.
Yes,
for
sir,
sure.
man. Shout out to the Cobra.
And Zeke wanted us to add this.
Yeah, because
Mrs. Meatbounce herself.
see.
Oh
This is
my
why I
God.
wanted to add
She
it because
she
you always got
taglined it.
something
What?
stupid to say, Chris. Listen, it's
She's the one that branded
Chris.
that, bro.
Chris, did you see the report that if you take away her me bounds, Angel Reese still leads the WNBA in rebounds per game. So it's not all me bounds, like she just said the other night after that game that they won. Angel Reese is balling lately. She just had a week where she had 20 points, 17 rebounds, two steals, 5 assists a game. They were worried about how the Sky was going to perform without Camila Cardoso, who's overplaying with Brazil for the national team. And Angel Reese has stepped up this past week and has been balling. So yeah, whenever I see something like this, after Mr. Peasy and everybody else try to takes whatever chance they get to rail on this girl and bash the heck out of her, yeah, I'm gonna stand up for her and say, yo, she been balling. She needs to get the credit because if this was somebody else, they'd be all over the headlines.
Oh,
So yeah,
Shout
shout out
out
to
to
Angel
Angel
Reese.
Reese,
Keep
Wow.
balling.
Eastern
Keep doing what you're
Conference
doing.
Player of the Week.
Um, I'm proud of you for taking all the hate and taking me bounds and turning it into something that's gonna to profit and benefit you and in support of ending cyberbullying. I appreciate you. I see you. Keep doing what you're doing. You'll probably never see this, but hey, it is what it is.
you show that 6-team Eastern Conference.
Yo, I'm done.
Oh, Jesus.
Yo,
I just got ghosted.
Yo, push the button, man.
Push the button.
Push the button. All right.
Where's the
Well,
Sandman?
guys, if you stuck around this long, we appreciate you. Thanks for joining in the chat. Special shout out to Chris and Chalice. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. You got one thing, Dave?
yeah, man. Real quick.
Yeah.
So for those of you who watch and don't know, we're based in Rochester, New York. I want to give a shout out to the Rochester Red Wings, man. And again, man, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. We talked about this the last time about Bruce the Bat Dog. I don't know if you guys have seen everything that's been going on with Bruce, but Bruce has been all over the place the last 2 weeks, bro. He's been on the Today Show. He's been on MLB Network. They've just been like rolling out the red carpet for Bruce the Bad Dog, and I just wanted to show some love to the Red Wings. I think they're doing a fantastic job of marketing this. Even if you're not a dog lover, it's a great thing for our city because it's given our city a lot of exposure. And our city right now, man, keep it real. I feel like our city is down bad right now. There's a lot of things going wrong in our city that really needs some fixing. But I feel like um, things like this really, really should be highlighted because they help to give Rochester the name that it's known for. Rochester is known for a lot of great things, man, and I think that there's been some things that have kind of like tarnished the name of our city. but I feel like things like this will really, really help to bring it back around. Sports heal, man. So support wherever you live, support your local sports teams, and just big them up any opportunity you get. But shout out to Bruce, the Bat Dog, man. I just picked up his card the other day, man. So
Dope.
yeah, man.
Yo, it's
Did you get a
wild.
patch?
Bruce the Bad Dog has been a better ambassador for Rochester than some of our other great sports athletes like the John Jones and Isaiah Stewart, man. Like,
Yo,
Bruce the Bad Dog
I can't with
representing,
you,
bro.
man. I can't. Yo, these dudes catching strays. I can't, Chris. I can't do it, man.
Catches strays, bro. He's the only one to stay off of it. Let me stop. Let me stop right
John Jones don't even
there.
play in Rochester anymore, man.
Oh man.
Whatever.
All right.
I hated it.
He's
I
been a
didn't
good
want to
boy.
interrupt. I wanted to make sure I got that out there, man.
Good
All
stuff.
right, cool.
No doubt.
All right, fellas. Hey, it was a fun podcast. We'll be back here next week, 9 p.m. Actually, I probably won't be here next week. So it'll be on the three of you guys. I'm taking a mini
Josh
vacation
won't be here
with the
next
wife
week
and
either.
kids. Oh, so it's
Josh
gonna be a
Lytle's
real
coming in
interesting
next
one.
It's a maybe. It's a maybe.
We'll make the
Okay.
determination, and we'll let
Me.
everybody know what we're doing for
Tune
next
in
week.
next week for Zeke and Dave talking all things baseball.
All baseball, man.
Baseball. Hey. All right.
Good
And
stuff.
if you ask nicely in the chat, we might let you on the show.
Hey.
There we
Facts.
go. Wants to be on a podcast. Step right up. Big contest coming. All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate you all. Thank you all in the audience for tuning in. Leave a chat in the comment. We'll probably even read it next time if you got some strong takes on anything that we discussed today. Like and subscribe. Peace.
Happy 4th. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy
That's it.
4th of July.
Those fingers intact.
Fireworks. There we go.
Later, y'all.